Hello. Last year we ran a 21st century contest. Well, we're doing it again this year. Last year we gave out $20,000 worth of hardware to teachers who needed it. This year we hope to double it and give out $40,000. We hope to run the contest twice, once before the Christmas break and once after the Christmas break. What is our 21st century contest all about? Well, it's very simple. Do something wow. Do something that is your idea of 21st century education. And let us know what you did. That's simple. Do something. We don't care what grade, we don't care what subject, we don't care what content standard, we don't care if it was a success or a failure. What we care is that you tried to do something that's outside the norm. Now here's a link that tells you about last year's winners and what they did, so you can get in-depth and see kind of a hint of what we're looking for. What was a winning entry last year? See if you can beat that. Now, what did the winners have in common? It's very simple. Number one is they got outside of their classroom, either virtually or physically. Some people got on a bus and went on a field trip and then use that as part of their resource. If you don't have the money for that, fine. Leave your classroom and go to the football field or the baseball field or the playground and study physics using the swings and the teeter-totters. That's a 21st century lesson. Or they left the classroom virtually. They used Skype and they talked to experts or talked to other classrooms. What else did they have in common? They brought in experts. So they brought in weathermen, they brought in engineers, they brought in Department of Natural Resources, they brought in volunteers who would volunteer to come in and talk to the class for a few minutes and answer questions. But rather than just lecture, they actually got their hands dirty. So we had students that were building things, students that were improving things, students that were finding problems, and as a group of 20 kids working together, solving those problems. What did the non-winners have in common? Well, the non-winners did the same old, but yet they threw in a piece of technology. So we actually had people who had their children doing worksheets and multiple choice tests, and they took a picture of it, or they took a video of it, and they called that 21st century because they were using video. And no, that's not it. That's not what we were looking for. We had an overabundance of PowerPoint. You have to remember, the PowerPoint was invented in the late 1980s. This is not 21st century technology. This is old technology. So see if you can find something different. What did the winners have in common? It was wow factor. That's what's more important than anything. Their students actually said, we loved doing this and we wish we could learn more this way. It was easier for us and we got better results. And it was easier for the teacher as well. Other teachers, or other things that the winners had in common, was that they worked collaboratively. So a third grade teacher working in collaboration with a fifth grade teacher, or a fifth grade teacher in southern West Virginia working with a teacher in northern West Virginia. How about this? Let's get outside this West Virginia completely. Let's study 1776 and independence and Yorktown and Benedict Arnold and George Washington, and let's do that whole lesson, and let's study it with England. Students in England probably have a different viewpoint of what happened in 1776. So let's talk collaboratively with them. You want to have mature students? Let's talk about what happened in Pearl Harbor, Nagasaki, and World Wars, and let's talk with who our former enemies were, and let's work with those students directly. How do we do this? By proper infusion of technology, not simply throwing technology at the problem and calling it 21st century. So, that's the contest. Do something wow. Use the link, look at last year's winners, get some ideas. There are more ideas at Thinkfinity, at SAS, at Intel. Can you combine Edmodo plus Twitter together to do something? Can you combine the principal and the superintendent and the library media specialist and the math and the science teachers together to do something wonderful? Can you combine the high school and the elementary school to do something wonderful? Do something. Tell us what you did. Just might win a couple $1,000s for you in your classroom. Good luck.